All right, guys. So we just finished a fire Q&A with Sadie, Robertson, Huff, and Craig Groeschel, basically on the topic of leading beyond your age. I love how they start this whole conversation because first they needed to establish that you are a leader because you have influence. It doesn't matter whether you're influencing a large group of people or just one single person in your household. You are a leadership, and that's the one thing that you have to make sure that you're paying attention to, because if you're influencing people around you and you're not understanding that, you don't know the actual impact that you're having. I said, when you think about influence among your family, friends, and coworkers, the question isn't, are you a leader? The question is, where are you leading them? So you have to be aware that you are leading people somewhere. So you need to know what that destination is. And the best way to be the best leader is to always be learning, which is why it's so important that you guys continue to get on these personal development Zooms, because of the fact that we're constantly bringing you new information, new things to help you grow beyond where you currently are. So if you want to lead the people around you well, you need to constantly be learning new things. But one of the important things about being a leader is being humble. You have to realize that you don't know what you don't know. Guys, I am fully aware that I don't know it. That's why I'm constantly on here learning and sharing with you guys, is because I want to make sure that not only am I learning, I'm sharing it with you. You have to be a leader who is constantly learning through humility, because of the fact that if you think that you know all of the things, that's going to put a cap on your capacity to lead, because the level of leadership and the level of influence that you have right now is directly related to your ability to have humility and learn. I said many leaders find themselves in positions where they need to learn a lot while leading a lot. Guys, I find that every single day, that I need to learn something so that I can lead better. That's my goal, is to learn while I'm going through it. It's not one of those things where you sit back and you read and you learn and you understand and then you go out and do it. You're in the process of doing it daily. So you need to be in the process of learning so that you can lead while you're going. One of the funny things is pull as many leadership lessons as you can from failure. I said this last night. You have to go from failure to failure as fast as you can so that you can learn the lessons that you need to learn so you can get better and do better and be more. And that doesn't happen without failure, guys, because that's one of the things is most lessons are learned on the other side of attempting something that you otherwise would not have learned from. And you have to have a high tolerance for failure, because it's a big portion of what it takes to become successful. Most success stories aren't derived from pure perfection that happens all along. They are trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. Find something that's successful and then moves forward. So you're not going to have it all together, but you need to start at some point. And that's the problem, is most people are waiting for that perfect time, that perfect moment to start, and then they never start. So instead of ready, aim, fire, you need to fire, aim, and never be ready. You just keep going. Said you need to find the right people and then start. When you're starting something, it's great because you can start something, but what most people do is they don't continue. They start something and then they don't continue on. So if you're starting something, understand that sustaining it is what will produce the lasting results. And the funny thing about this is, Sadie was talking about how when they have an idea, or when somebody comes to her with an idea, the next thing that they do is Google it. Guys, do you know how much information you have in your hands? When people text me questions and stuff like that, the first thing that comes to my mind is, well, did you Google it? Because of the fact that Google has so many things available to you. The internet has so much information. Guys, we are an information society. The question is, those that are successful are those the ones that go out and get the information and then apply it. Talking about getting the right people on your team is so important too, because you have to have the people on your team that are going to build you up, support you, and push you towards the mission or the goal that you're trying to accomplish. So you also have to be the visionary for your group, telling them where you're going and what you're trying to accomplish. Specifically in our business, it's important because of the fact that when people join your team, they don't always know exactly where they're supposed to be going. They just know that they joined because they need to create some sort of income. They want freedom. What their why is what you need to connect to so that you know where to lead them. In order to be a great leader, sometimes you have to say no a lot. And the reason why is because the majority of things that are going to come up to you as opportunity or come up to you as ideas are not going to be things that move you towards your goal. So that's why it's so important that you know your goal and where you're going, because it makes it easier for you to know the difference between what you need to say yes to and what you need to say no to. If it doesn't push you towards your goal or your mission, you should probably say no to it, because it's more of a distraction and a derailer than it is something that's going to push you towards your goal. And it's not a matter of if and when they will come. They will come. They will come constantly, because of the fact that if you know where you're going, you'll understand that there's so many things trying to drag you off of that. Going back to the conversation of what's great and important for leadership is one thing: authenticity. Authenticity is a leadership superpower. It's not natural for people to be authentic, because what we're constantly trying to do is we're constantly trying to be the image of what we think people think leadership should be. So the superpower that you have is sharing the things about your life that will allow you to connect, because we impress people with our strengths, but we connect with people through our weaknesses. When you share your story, when you get to that point where you're able to share the things in your life that you might be ashamed of, those are the things that will allow you to connect with other people that feel the exact same way, that have not gotten to the point where they can share it yet. When Stephanie and I first started in this, we didn't share our story about bankruptcy and standing in food lines at churches because it was something that we were embarrassed about. But the moment that we opened up and started sharing about what had happened in our life and what we had gone through, we started connecting with people that not only had gone through that, but we had also started connecting with people that are currently going through that. And what that does for them is that gives them hope to show, hey, look, if I do what they did, I can get out of where I am too. People trust you more when you're honest about your failures, because they give you the respect and trust you because you're open about your life. Many leaders feel pressure to act and walk and talk like the younger generation. Guys, when we talk about the difference in generations for leadership, this is some of the craziest stuff that's going on right now, because of the fact that it's almost like there's a power struggle between the older generation and the younger generation on how to lead. And so the advice for leading Gen Z and the next generation is just being authentic about yourself. They are so good about being authentic and looking for authenticity that if you are acting and walking and talking like them in order to lead them, they know that that's not you. Young people would rather act their own age, and they expect you to act your own age too. That was something that was kind of funny, because when you think about it, everybody is trying to attract that next generation by doing the things, acting like and sounding like them, when in fact, that's not what they're wanting. The next generation is learning from you. So what they want to learn from is the real you, not the you pretending to be them. You have to be confident in your authenticity as a leader at your age in order to attract those around you that are younger than you. She said, as Gen Z, they walk into a room and expect everybody needs to learn from them, because we're here, we're Gen Z, we know everything, you need to learn from us. And what she said to them is, you need to lose the entitlement and replace it with humility and a curiousness and a willingness to learn from those that have been through it before. Because those that are before us have been through things. They may not have been through the exact things, but I'm pretty sure that they've been through similar things that are exactly the same as what we're going through now in their generation. And then Craig Groeschel said to the opposite, all you oldies out there, just because you've lived long doesn't mean that you're current and effective. You know, John Maxwell says all the time, if you're teaching off of the same things that you did 10 years ago, you're probably no longer efficient and effective and a leader, because of the fact that things 10 years ago are nowhere near the same as where they are today. So if your training is based on the things that you did and not the things that you're doing, you're not being an effective leader. So the overarching statement for the younger generation and the older generation is, you don't know it all and don't act like it. That's why it comes back to one of the most enduring qualities of a leader is humility, because if you don't know what you don't know how to impact and share with people. So always be learning and always share what you're learning, no matter what you think of the consequences of it, because of the fact that you don't know that one thing that you might say that might impact somebody down the road. The things that you say today may impact somebody that hears it tomorrow. The words that you say have an impact whether you think it does or not. That's why you have to be very careful about the words that you choose to say. We talk about that all the time. The power of life and death is in your tongue. So the words that you say, are they being positive? Are they building people up? Or the things that you're saying, tearing people down and destroying goodwill? Same thing with your posting. Are the things that you're posting on social media, are they positive, uplifting, and building others? Or are they causing people to get into arguments and tear people down? Said you have to have the ideas put forward of positivity in order to have positivity take place in your life. They said with social media, you have to understand that you have more control over it than you think. You are the reason for your algorithm. The things that you like and look at and share the most are the things that are going to continually be brought up to you. So you are going to have what's called confirmation bias. The things that you look at are going to be brought to your page, brought up in front of you so that you think that that's the way everything always is. It's going to confirm the beliefs that you have. So you need to make sure that you're going out and looking at things around you to make sure that you're not just in your confirmation bubble. So you have the ability to choose how you have information brought to you. And the most important thing is to choose positivity. Because if you constantly see positivity and you're constantly looking for positivity everywhere, you will positively have opportunity come to you. You are a leader, so choose to be positive so that it impacts the world around you positively. Guys, I hope today's lesson helped you. This is one of those ones that you need to make sure and go share with everybody, because everybody needs to learn these leadership qualities. So go out, make a positive impact on the world around you today. Hope your day is as awesome as you are, guys. We'll see you again soon.